Hey team, Jesse Reynolds here. I just got back from leadership school and I am so excited to have the opportunity to share with you on the award this morning. And this, I just counted up between Advo Nation, Success Schools, Leadership Schools. This is my 18th straight school that I've been to in my 7.5 years with AdvoCare. And Beth and I, along with all the other veterans that we spoke with, hands down, the best school that AdvoCare has ever done. And there's a number of reasons for it, and so you'll continue to hear more about that. But what I want to talk to you about is the single most important thing that I heard from that stage when we were out there in Frisco, Texas. So Danny and Diane McDaniel, many of you know, they are the #1 distributors, the top paid distributors in all of AdvoCare. And it was on the last day of leadership school that Danny had the stage, and he was up there for about a half hour or so. And I just want to put this in context. Danny McDaniel, the #1 most successful distributor in the company, and he's got about a half hour or so to train. And he spoke about just one thing. For a half hour, Danny McDaniel simply spoke about the importance of getting ourselves and our teams to Summer Success School August 2015 at AT&T Stadium. I can't do nearly as good of a job as Danny did. He's a visionary, and I don't want to make it a half-hour WOD video for you either, even if I just went through all my notes and all the things he hit on. But essentially, here's my dogs. This is real live TV here, guys. So anyway, so essentially, what Danny broke down and explained was simply this: the single most important thing for any of us in our businesses is we have got to get to successful. So here's the first question. It's really simple. Are you committed to Summer Success School this August at AT&T Stadium? It's a yes or no. And I want to frame this with and help you understand this in the right context. Every one of us has some reason and some purpose. So I want to, I've already accomplished my purpose. And Beth and I are going to bigger dreams and bigger visions. But on the success side of things, we're full-time parents. We paid off our mortgage. We got out of the credit card debt. We've done those things that we wanted to do when we first set out to AdvoCare. And there's only one reason. It's because we have been to 18 straight success schools. We have never skipped a success school. We've never even the thought of missing success school. That's not even a negotiable for us. There's times, I mean, even just this last one, we got a 5-month-old, and we didn't really want to do the airport thing with him, so we drove. So that meant 11 hours of driving each direction for us. And we have a 5-month-old, and we wanted to have the two of us at every single session, so we had to fly my father out from Florida, and we had to pay for him to have a hotel, and we had to pay for his meals. And it's not that my father can't do that, but it's because we needed to take care of our child, and we needed to get in the room for every single session at leadership school. So I want you to think about that. That's expensive. That's a commitment. And so some of you are going to have even bigger things that you're going to have to overcome to get in the room for August Success School. And I won't even begin to imagine what all of them are. One is a simple one, is childcare. That can be a very big challenge sometimes. One is simply the expense and the cost, the investment cost of getting yourself in the room. Sometimes it's a work calendar schedule, and I can think of a Ruby leader who just physically couldn't get off of work. And so I understand those things are very real and very valid. But what I know is you have a purpose. You have a reason why you said yes to AdvoCare. And if you're a parent, it's most likely your kids, having more time with your kids, providing a better future for your kids. If you have debt, it's to get out of debt. If you don't love your job, it's to get out of your job you don't love. If you just maybe love your job but you work too much, and you just want some more time with your family. I don't know what that purpose is. Maybe it's just traveling. Maybe it's being able to afford retirement because you're looking at the trend of everyone else out there. They're hitting 60, 65, 70, and they're still working. And you realize that if you keep doing what they're doing, you're not going to be able to enjoy your retirement either whenever that time comes down the road. You have something that you have said yes to with AdvoCare. There's something that's important to you. There's something that if time were to pass and you were to not accomplish that you would not be okay with that. What is that purpose? I want you to think about that, because here's a very simple truth and secret and insight that I'm going to share with you, if you will permit me to. If you do not get in the room for this success school, you will not accomplish that purpose. And that's not a scare tactic. That's not a threat. I'm not trying to speak death over your business. What I want to make sure and do is, because I love you and I care about you, I have a responsibility as a leader to tell you the truth, because I don't want you to be deceived. Because I see that so often. I see people all the time say, "Yeah, I'm really serious about coming home to my kids, and I'll get to that success school thing maybe next year, but next year's never going to come." Do it now. Your future, your family is too important to miss out on this success goal. Danny challenged us to double our numbers from last year, and it's not because we get diamonds. We don't get like some bonus check because of our success goal numbers. That's not how this thing works. It's because what we know is there is nothing more important to your better future than you getting in the room for success goal. And so when I put it in that context, here's the thing last thing I'm gonna end with for you. And when you're thinking about that purpose, or you're thinking about if it's you're dropping your kids off at daycare and it breaks your heart, or if it's just your wife is miserable having to drop kids off at daycare and you're just fighting to bring her home. I realize that you may have a kid's birthday party, a soccer game. Maybe they're in like a really big youth sports tournament. Maybe it's right now you physically don't have the money in your bank account. I don't know what those things are. When you put it in that context and you understand that getting in the room for this success goal is the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be for your family and your future, my question for you is simply this: could you find a way to get there? I understand that maybe right now it looks like you can't, but if you could, what would you have to do to make that a reality? Because I am yet to meet a champion who sacrifices, who overcomes struggle to get there in the room, and winds up regretting it later. In fact, it's very much quite the opposite. We heard so many stories from rising stars and diamond leaders who said, and I almost didn't make it, or I signed up just 2 weeks before success school and I was going to go to the next one, but I got there this time and I saw it and I got it and it clicked, and 6 months later I retired. 6 months later we pay off the medical debt. 6 months later I paid off those student loans. 6 months later we removed that burden from our household, and our marriage started improving because we weren't fighting and arguing over finances all the time. I don't know what that thing is that you want. What I do know is the answer, the key to helping you get that and attain that for your life, for your family, is getting in the room at this success school. And so I'm going to end with is simply this: get your tickets, get yourself locked in. That's the number one thing. Get yourself locked in. It's $169. Purchase your ticket so that you can start telling everyone, I am committed to success school. And if you can't afford plane tickets and stuff like that right now, that's fine. Understand, a lot of us leaders are, depending on what parts of the country you live in, we are working together to make some more affordable options. We're looking at charter buses. We're looking at getting some block hotel rooms. We're looking at doing some things because those are great expenses to us, and those are great time commitments on our end to make those things a reality. So I just want to make sure you understand, if you see something like that come up in your area, jump on it, because that is something that we are doing because we are investing in you. And last thing is, Advocare Corporate is investing in us. For the next 4 Sundays, they're going to have success school training / promotion calls every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And so just know and keep your eyes peeled, because we're going to have some very specific training nuggets on how to use those, how to leverage those for your better future. But it starts with you. You are one decision, one right, wise decision away from where you want to be in your life and your business. You guys are champions. We love you. We cannot wait to see you at August Success School, AT&T Stadium. Let's go out there and change the world.